Good afternoon and welcome to the FIXER Hour. The FIXER Hour is an hour 30-minute program that comes your way every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the bottom line Liberia. Indeed, my name is Joseph Yonly, and this is how I officially like to welcome you to this week edition of the program, the FIXER Hour. And today we're going to be looking at a lot of things making news in our country. And we have limited time to the election. So it is important that we sit on this platform to share with you the workings of the CPP. So I want you to keep sharing this live. I want you to keep sharing this live. And any moment from now on, we will kickstart our discussion. But my name is Joseph T. Yonly, and this is how officially I'd like to welcome you to this week edition of the program, the FIXER Hour. And before we get into our discussion, I would firstly like to appreciate all of you as my followers and supporters. You've been doing a great job. Likewise, I've been here doing a lot of research to inform you about happenings in our country, Liberia. So, as we have limited time to the election, it is important that we share with you the vision of Mr. Cummings. We tell you the policy difference between Mr. Cummings and other presidential candidates. Here on this program, we have a civil conversation. So as we have barely 2 months to go to the election and less than 18 days to the official opening of campaign, I like to say this to you. You know, this work we do, some of you see it to be an easy work, but this work is a very, very difficult job to do. To sit on a platform, you share the message about a opposition candidate, you criticize the wrong things in society. Is something that is difficult to do. We have a lot of people coming after us. We have a lot of people who will say the worst thing about us. But again, we stand up for these things because, mind you, if we don't sit on this platform to share with you trending things making news, how will you be informed about things happening in our country? And most of you watching from the diaspora, it's because of you. We sit on this platform every day. We're making our duty to research every day and come here to say something new to you. It's not like we don't have anything doing, but most of you out of this country, you count on us, you depend on us, to sit on this platform to update you. So this is a very difficult job to do, but yet again, we stand up to it. So like I said the last time, we intend to have official fundraiser on this platform. Official fundraiser. And that fundraiser will be announced very soon. It will be disclosed very soon. We will tell you how we went about with this fundraiser because we want to be everywhere doing the electoral activities. If it costs us to go to Grand Gide, it costs us to go to Bomi County, it costs us to go to Branky Mount, it costs us to go to Grand Bassa County, we are willing to go. The only thing we want is the support. We are not asking for much, but anything you have to empower the team, to empower us to go outside, to making sure that we bring you the fresh-hand information, we will appreciate that. And so officially, we will be launching the fundraiser on this show this week, and we intend to get all of your support because it is important that you support this process. Because the thing is that Mr. Cummings will not be everywhere. Councillor Charlie Bronski will not be everywhere. Some of us who sitting on the show to share the vision of Mr. Combs and Councillor Charlie Bronski, we are going to volunteer ourselves to go in the trenches. We are going to volunteer ourselves to move in the community. So we are not asking for much, but the little that you have to compensate the team for us to go on to gather fresh and first-hand information is something that we will hardly appreciate. So that's just it I choose to inform you about, but there are a lot of things making news in the country. You know, this morning a lot of people been calling me saying, "Oh, Yonly, we're hearing that the CDC will be having a thank you program." A thank you program. Yes, let me officially confirm it, even though I'm not speaking in a capacity of as a PR for the CDC. But yes, it is true that the CDC is having a thank you program. And the program, as I speak to you, the program is ongoing currently at the national headquarters of the CDC. But, you know, the nomenclature of the program to thank President Weah is something that I want to, disagree with my friends within the CDC. I want to disagree with my friends from the CDC because, you know, the act of being grateful is something that every one of us would like to do. Being grateful is something that I expect everyone to do. But how can one, or how should one be grateful to someone? You be grateful to individual or institutions based on the contribution of that individual or institution on your life or on the life of the community that you find yourself in. So, narrowing it to Mr. Weah, is it that President Weah have performed diligently in the interest of the Liberian people, that they are planning program to say thank you, Mr. Weah? To me, I disagree. Because if you're thanking the president, you should come up to outline things that you are appreciating him for, that you are being very appreciative to him. So let us look at the country, fellow Liberians, and let us get to understand what this president has done that you think the Liberian people can turn out in their 10,000 to appreciate him. What? Let us talk about security. Let us talk about security. Do we have a vibrant security system in our country? No, we don't. Today, as I speak to you, we have a lot of our sisters, we have a lot of our mothers who have been abused on a daily basis. Our sisters, our mothers have been abused. They have been raped. They have been sexually abused. As I speak, we have a lot of cases, right? We have a lot of cases in the country. The Justice Ministry is yet to prosecute those alleged victims. Our sisters, our mothers, they are out there crying for justice. There is no justice. Today, the justice system today, as I speak to you, the justice system of our country has been built on two pillars. We have the high-profile case and the low-profile case. The high-profile cases are those cases that involved senior government officials. So, if you are not senior government officials, and then your family or your loved one or your relative is abused, there will be no justice for you. We are seeing it in this under this regime of Mr. President. It's a glaring fact. Today, we turn on the radio, you hear a lot of the discouraging news coming from all parts of Liberia. If a man is growing up with 5-year-old kid, you will hear in the news that a man has killed his wife. This is only height increase. What is our government doing to what? To curtail this from happening? What is our government doing to discourage many men who are in the habit of abusing sexually our sisters and mothers? The government is not doing anything. The government is not doing anything. Let's go to corruption. The president promised that he is going to fight corruption, and he's going to make corruption his worst enemy. The president promised all that. He's going to make corruption his worst enemy. But today, as it stands, we have senior government officials who have been sanctioned, who have been reported as most corrupt leaders currently in Liberia. We'll talk about education. There's no quality education. Today, as we speak, there's no technology being introduced into our school system. This is the 21st century. You will find out that you see 12th grade student who doesn't even know how to boot computer. If you ask a senior high school student in other African countries, they are schooled to technology. They are knowledgeable about the internet. But when you come to Liberia, it's on the contrary. What is the reason? Why can our government prioritize education, technology into the education sector? Today, the GSM company, Orange in Lone Star, the network is not even stable in this country. The network is not even stable. Then we come to agriculture. There's no farm to market rules. The president cannot point to his achievement in agriculture to say, yes, I was able to connect farm to market rules. But yet and still, they sat in the comfort zone to plan a program care on the big picture of, thank you, President Ware. You're thanking the president for what? You're thanking the president because of the high level of corruption? Are you thanking the president because your sisters, your mother has been raped and there's no justice for them? Or are you thanking the president for wastefully spending taxpayer money on foreign trade that has no benefit on the lives of the Liberian people? So, fellow Liberians, there is no need for you to come on the indicator of thank you, President Ware. Thank you, the president, for what? What has the president done for you? You're going to thank him. And trust me, the turnout will not be, the turnout might be huge because I have followed their activities. I was around the SKD community. I live on in my community. I follow the activities. These guys have spent a lot of money on this program. They have spent a lot of money on this program. They have spent a lot of money. These guys have distributed money. They have given labor to the people. So I don't want you to see the turnout to say, oh yes, the Liberian people are still, they are certified with the current condition they are faced with. No, the Liberian people are tired. But the only thing is that the money that the government gives out to them, that's why you will see them turning out for today's program. Even though I don't support them to receive money to turn out, but hey, I've been encouraging them. When the government dish out money to them, they should eat it. They should eat the money. And October 10, they should make the best decision. The decision that will speak to the reality, whether they will have some transformation in their lives. The government, they are wastefully spending the Liberian people taxpayer money. If you go in each of the communities, the guys are dishing out $1,000 with laptop. So you know the kind of economic hardship we are confronted with as a people. And then you have someone coming to you, government official who live in the community, coming to you, or the party is coming to you, say, oh, we gave you $1,000, we just want you to turn out for today's program. And even if you make your decision, go ahead and make your decision. That's the reason you see people turning out down there. That's the main reason you see people turning out. The Liberian people are not turning out because they are happy with what they are being confronted with. No, they are not. The Liberian people are tired. And the Liberian people are going to send a very strong message come October 10. And let me just show it to you. Let me show it to you this. The program this morning, the program was not usually, I think it's the other stuff I'm using. But I'll post it. Most of you friends to me, Joseph T. Yonly, you follow my page, you will see the post I mean. The turnout this morning was very poor. But the guys, under the instruction of the president and the finance minister, they started to move in various communities, dishing out $1,000 and also giving laptop to the people. That's why you see the turnout like that. But let me say to you, fellow Liberians, most of you that will be following this program on the diaspora, the turnout you're seeing today with a weird thank you is not is not speaking to the reality whether the Liberian people will elect President Weah. Because people you see who have turned out, they are people who they have nothing to do. They are people who are challenged. They are people who need resources. They are people who need finance to take care of their children at home. And then being offered $1,000, they appreciate it, and that's why you see they are out there. But they are not going to vote for Mr. Weah. Or they are not there to tell him thank you. No, they are not. And I want to bring this story up to you. It was reported by the editorial newspaper. It's a fresh story. And this is our latest statistic coming out from the Ministry of Health. And it's so saddening, it's very frustrating. And when I went through the newspaper, I read the entire story, I felt bad. And in fact, I asked myself, look, why is it that the issue of jobs in our country is just rampantly increasing? Why is it that jobs is just on high increase in our country? I asked myself, but is Liberia different from other countries that it puts in serious measures, mechanisms to continue high importation of jobs in a country? What is happening to Liberia? But again, all back down to the type of leadership we have in our country. This current administration is not serious in the fight against drugs. This current administration, fellow Liberians, they are not serious in the fight against drugs. They are not serious in the fight against drugs. The current statistic from the Ministry of Health putting the at-risk youth at 47,917 addicted Liberians to drugs. 47,917 at-risk youth currently in Liberia from addicted to drugs. A statistic from the Ministry of Health. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine currently in our country like Liberia, wherein we don't have stable electricity? Our communities are all dark. The justice system is weak. Then we have 47 from the statistic published by the Ministry of Health. We have 47,917 young people at risk youth addicted to drugs. Coming in our country. This is so frustrating. I came across this news. It broke me down. It actually broke me down. Because that have validated that the government is doing nothing against the fight, of drugs. So I've seen that the Ministry of Health to publish that we have 47,917 at-risk youth addicted to drugs. It's a serious security threat. It poses on the life of ordinary Liberians. It's a serious security threat. Because the first thing is that the number is too huge. The number is too huge for a country like Liberia. Country like Liberia, wherein today we want to see that the number of students, the number of young people enrolling at the state-going university and other colleges and universities around the country to be on hard increase, but it's contrary that the increase of young people addicted to drugs is 47,970. It's so sad and frustrating. That validated that the government is not doing anything. There's no effort from this government to combat drugs. We continue to witness the high importation of drugs into our country. Today, those who we depend on to take on leadership tomorrow, they are languishing. We have a lot of young people languishing all over in the community. I have said that repeatedly on this show, that the government is not doing anything in combating drugs. Today, they have been validated by the Ministry of Health that Liberia had 47,917 at-risk youth addicted to drugs. That's why you continue to witness the criminal rates in the rural communities is on high increase. That's why today, if you leave your material, you leave your value, you leave your property, you leave any of your stuff outside, just to go in and get something before you come back, it's gone. That's why you see People, you continue to see people continue to complain. The criminal rate is increasing in our rural communities. The criminal rate is increasing. It's because the government is not doing anything. How can we have a country like Liberia? The security system is a challenge. The security is not even swift in responding to the cause of the Liberian people. Today, as we speak, if you are on attack and you call the Liberian National Police hotline, it's going to take you 5, 6, or even 10 hours before the government responds, before the police respond. We've been crying on these things. Again, for the government to hold measures in place where they will help curtail the hard importation of jobs in our country. Today, we continue to see the jobs importation is on high increase, and those addicted to jobs, they are increasing on a daily basis. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And I said this to a friend of mine. I said, this is not something that we should celebrate. It's not something we should keep silent on. The just crisis that we are into today is a national crisis that we need to take very seriously. Because if we take it lightly, it will be your own brother, the sister. Tomorrow, you will see them turning into Zoho. This is a national crisis. For politics, which political parties you support, whether you're from the CDC, whether you're from the ANC or the UP, or whatever party, let us put our differences aside and let's speak to this just crisis. This is serious. We need to be very careful and we need to come down hard on our government. Because this thing, I'm seeing a today report. The Ministry of Health have come up with 47,970 at-risk youth addicted to drugs. We don't know in the coming years, 2, 3 years, we don't know how the number will increase again. So as the number continues to increase, that's how it poses security threats on all of us. And the security threat, these guys are not selective. When you guys take in their jobs, they are not selective to say, I'm going to this person, they are UP support, they are CDC supporter, they are CPP supporter. These guys, whenever they take in the harmful substance, they go ahead to do things off track, out of their mind. So let all of us speak to this thing. It's very serious, fellow Liberians. And the kind of number that is reported by the Ministry of Health, those who are addicted to drugs in our country, is so scary. It's so scary. And then again, I want to call on the government. Listen, this is that the reason why you see, in fact, the government is spending the way they are spending today. Whenever they are organizing programs, they are organizing rally. The reason they are spending the way they are spending is because the government have left the basic things that they're supposed to take as a priority, and they focus themselves, their attention on something that is not of importance. Why is the reason you should focus on sports? Why is the reason you continue to go out of the country to witness games, spend huge money on foreign trips, not doing anything? Why is the reason today you give out 1,000 or go to attend the program? If you can put all these monies together and send it to the Drugs Enforcement Agency, empower the LDEA to go after drug dealers, the Liberian people will celebrate you. If you take this money and you invest it in the justice system of our country, we have a lot of Liberians that will celebrate you and appreciate you. But you want to take this money, you wait for campaign time, you take the money to support your electoral activities. That's why you see the government continue to face challenge whenever they are calling for rally. But again, it's a glaring fact that the life we're going to experience after October 10 will be a very difficult one. It will be a unbearable one for us. And it is important that we think the decision we are about to make is very critical, and the kind of high increase of drugs, the drugs crisis now occurring in our country, is alarming. And you continue to see our parents, our sisters, our mothers have been abused on a daily basis. And there's no justice for them. The justice system, we need to revamp it. And looking at corruption in the country, corruption is on a high increase. And there are a lot of reasons why, look, fellow Liberians, you need to rethink. There are a lot of reasons. If you just sit and you think that everything is okay with you, that's fine. If you think that you are in a diaspora, you're going to support the CDC and to maintain, and it's okay. It's like with you. You have your children here. You have your relatives. They have the number that the increase of drugs added in our countries, in our country currently. It's not going to affect only the CPP or the UP. It's going to affect all of us. This is going to affect all of us. So, folks, I just choose to give you the statistic. I just choose to give you the statistic from the Ministry of Health regarding those number of people, the percentage of people who have been, addicted to drugs in our country. So the final number is 47,917 at-risk youth addicted to drugs. The number is too high, the percentage is too high. I thought we should be hearing in the news that, look, because the government have put in measures and we are now witnessing hard importation of drugs in our country, though the percentage of those who are addicted to drugs in our country has dropped, but for it to increase is something scary, is something worrisome, and we urgently need to speak to it. We need to take it serious. We don't need to take it lightly. We take it for granted, it will harm us tomorrow. Because mind you, the at-risk youth, they are not selective in harming people. They come after anyone. They come after anyone. So let's visit the front page African newspaper again to inform you. Folks, the issue about the Liberty Party saga. The issue about the Liberty Party saga is something that is serious. I think in the front page African newspaper came up with a story, and I'm going to just briefly read that story to you or discuss it that about the front page African newspaper. Is reporting that Senator Yonly Kangalars, Senator Abraham Darius Dillon, Steve Zaku, and other hierarchies. I'm going to verify that source. They are all expelled from the Liberty Party. Senator Yonly Kangalars, Senator Abraham Darius Dillon, and Steve Zago was expelled by the national chairperson of the LP, that is the Liberty Party, and that was done by Chairman Musa Asambeliti. So we will review the story, briefly discuss it, and then we look at all the trending things making news in our country. Again, if you just joined, I would like to say welcome. This is how officially I like to welcome you to the FIXER Hour on the bottom line with me, Joseph T. Yonly. And this is how I like to welcome you to the July 17th edition of the program, FIXER Hour. So let's take this break. When we come back, we bring you the story, give you Tuesday of the expulsion of the LP's former standard bearer, Senator Yonly Kangalarin, Senator Abraham Darius Delon, and Steve Zeko. Let's take this break. We'll be right back. Take this break. We will be right back. We're going to be right back. Let's take this break. Let's take this break. This break.
My name is Alexander Cummings, and I want to work with honest men and women to change Liberia for the better. I want to open the doors of governance to all capable persons. I want to use the collective brain power of all of our men and women. I want to build a nation of self-sufficiency. I want to build an environment that thrives on and promotes a vibrant Liberian private sector. I want to ensure that we are a nation where education is key in all of our national development priorities. I want to create and nurture a development agenda that ensures our young people have jobs when they graduate from school. I want to create an environment where our women have access to equal opportunities in every aspect of our society. I want to promote a system that uses our country's natural resources for the benefit of all. I want to see our country flourish beyond our wildest imagination. We are capable of doing it if we work together. We may not all agree all of the time, but we can set aside our differences and work towards charting a new course without the infighting, backbiting, and backstabbing. Whether you're a member of the ANC, ALP, LP, or UP, we must channel our support for individual candidates into championing our collective objective, defeating the Weir administration in the 2023 presidential and legislative elections, and ushering in a governance more prepared, more capable, more experienced, more skilled, and more honest men and women. With your help, we can move Liberia to being a better country. I thank you. God bless you and God bless Liberia. There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. So after job creation, our next priority is agriculture. We are a country, after 170 years, that do not fear ourselves. Last year alone, we imported over 160 million United States dollars in rice import. and total food imports was over $280 million. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we're focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country. Is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay. So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government. Because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the how's. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates aspiring to lead our country.
Let me get it.
There are 5 priorities we have.
Okay.
And we call that the what's.
Okay, welcome back from that entertaining break. If you just joining, I'd like to say,
and those priorities are welcome.
Yeah, we're smart. We talk a bit. People listen to you smart. Let me talk smart too. So this is how I like to officially welcome you from that entertaining break. And if you are just tuning, this is a reminder that you are tuned into the program, the FIXER Hour on the Bottom Line Liberia. But don't give me a chance. So welcome back. Here on the program, the FIXER Hour, we discuss the vision of Mr. Cummings and Councillor Charlie Bronstein. We discuss how they envision Liberia, how they intend to transform the whole living condition of our people, and how they are going to combat corruption. We discuss the policy issues. And here we discuss a lot of things regarding CDB and other trending national issues. So if you just joined, I'd like to say welcome. My name is Joseph T. Yonly. And quickly, like I said, let me quickly read you this story. It was reported by the Front Page Africa newspaper. I'm not going to read you all of the story. I'm just going to read, and we look at it, and we draw down the curtain of the edition of the program. So let's go there. See the opposition Liberty Party has expelled 6 of its members and revoked their memberships over direct violation and resolutions taken during the party's convention statement, stated by the party national chairman Musa Hassan Belete disclosed. So again, maybe you just joined, right? I'm reading a story published by the Front Page African newspaper, and just so you should be aware, the Liberty Party have expelled 6 of 8 executive members that include Senator Yonly Lawrence of Grand Bassa County, Senator Abraham Darras Dillon of Moserado County, that include Senator Steve Zako of Lofa County, and other officials. So let's go into the story. Those expelled are Senator Yonly Lawrence of Grand Bassa County, Moserado County Senator Abraham Darras Dillon, Lofa County Senator Steve Zako, Mr. Jacob Smith, Mr. Prince Tully, and Mr. Daniel Steiner. The party noted that the action is as a result of these individuals' decision to either participate as United Party UP campaign officials or contest on the UP ticket in the upcoming presidential and general elections, which is in direct violation of decisions and resolution taken at the LP convention. So this story is reported by the Front Page Africa. This story is reported by the Front Page Africa newspaper. So let's see if we can take a musical break, folks. I'm sorry. Let me take a break. Let's take a quick break here and we're going to be right back. Let me attend to something urgent. So let me take this. Yeah. Yeah, okay, we are back. So folks, I'm sorry for that breakthrough transmission. So the expelled, those expelled are Senator Yonly Lawrence of Grand Bassa County, Moserado County Senator Abraham Darras Dillon, Lofa County Senator Steve Zako, Mr. Jacob Smith, Mr. Prince Tully, and Mr. Daniel Steiner. So the six, this story is reported by the Front Page African newspaper. Those 6 LP officials was expelled from the party. And quickly, just to chip in with my own analysis about their suspension, you can read from the Front Page African newspaper the entire details. So I just choose to inform you because it's something important that we look at too on this platform. The thing is that it's a glaring fact. You can be an executive official of a party, and the party come up with a decision to support a specific party or go into collaboration with a specific party, and then the party go into a convention, and in the convention is there where the final decision regarding any political party can be held. I don't know, can be taken right. I don't know which political party you from or you belong to, but the fact of it, what I know of, that's what I'm telling you. Before a party come up with a decision to support anyone, they will go into a special sitting or a convention. In the case of the Liberty Party, according to what was reported by the Front Page Africa, and that was the release from the chairman Musa Hassan Beleti, the party went into a convention. And in that convention, the party agreed to support or go into, to maintain or start up with the CDP into the collaboration with the ANC. So you being executive member of the party, you leave the party decision and you accept appointment from the Unity Party. That is a total violation. If you listen to the chairman and the release, it's a total violation of the LP constitution. It's a total violation, and as such, the party can no longer hold these people, but rather to expel them. So, in fact, if you go down in this communication, you will get that the chairman Musa Hassan Beleti, warned all of political parties group to not do business with any of the expelled officials under the banner of the LP. They can go and transact business with Senator Yonly Lawrence as individual. They can also go and transact business with Senator Darius Dillon as Senator of Motorado. But the party is warning all groups and political parties to not do business with these people under the banner of the LP. So, like for instance, you there at the Unity Party, you want to transact, like you appoint Yonly already as your campaign chair. I advise that be the respecter of the law. The UP are expected to be the respecter of the law. The UP was into leadership, was into administration here for 12 years. So I expect them to respect the rule of law, because the election that brought them to power was the fact of the Liberian people respecting the final decision through the democratic process, which brought the Unity Party to government. So if the Liberian people and all opposition parties respected the decision of the law of the vast majority and say, yes, this is the law say if you win, you should respect it, that's fine. All the people have problem with Ellen and all the folks from the Unity Party. But we respected the law. So former Vice President Joe Imam-Waka and the folks from the Unity Party, I want to call on them. This statement should be respected. If you want to do business with Yonly, which of course that's your prerogative, to do business with her, no one will stop you, say don't do business with any Liberian, but don't do business with Yonly under the banner of the Liberty Party. The Liberty Party chairman, the Liberty Party Juliet chairman, have issued a press release, and that speaks to the fact that 6 of the officials that Unity Party is doing business with, the 6 of them is no more member of the Liberty Party. They have expelled them, and then they are no longer member of the Liberty Party. So I'm encouraging the folks, let us respect the law, because you see, that's why sometimes sometimes it can bother me, when I see that, look, the folks from the Unity Party, they want to come to power. They want to take on leadership of our country. But they are not respecting the law. They are not respecting the law. The last time again, the same Liberty Party was in court. And then the Supreme Court come out with a verdict that said, Chairman Musa Hassan Berete is the legitimate chairman of the Liberty Party, and those who doing business with anyone should stop doing business with them. And then the same Unity Party again was caught doing business with Yonly. We all followed the endorsement of the Unity Party standard bearer and vice standard bearer that was done by, that was held in Grand Bassa County. When Senator Yonly Kaka Lawrence endorsed the same, you be under the banner of LP. So this is not good sign for the Unity Party. I'm calling them because we all in the opposition. We want to take on leadership in this country. If we want to take on leadership in the country, let us start to respect the law. The Yonly, the Delon, the Stis, Zako, and other officials, the Daniel Sano, they have been expelled by the LP. Now, if you're doing business with them from the Unity Party angle, that's a prerogative to do business with them, but don't officially do business with them under the banner of the Liberty Party. Chairman Benedict make it clear. You can read the form, you can read the details in the front page Africa newspaper. If anyone is caught doing business with Senator Yonly Kanga Lawrence and other expelled officials under the banner of the LP, legal action will be taken. Legal action will be taken. Let us be the respecter of the law. Because the reason today I'm taking my time to speak to the Unity Party is because, mind you, we all say that George Weah is not doing the right thing, which of course that's fine. We continue to say that the president is abusing the law. Our sisters, our mothers are being abused. We want to take on leadership to change things around. We want to put Liberia on the right trajectory. So now, we from the opposition should start to show some difference that the Liberian people will see to say, yes, if we elect this opposition, they are going to do the right thing we want them to do. But we can be doing the same thing that the CDC is doing. We can be doing the same thing that the folks from the ruling establishment is doing. Then we expect the Liberian people to trust us. Again, the Liberian people will not, I know the Liberian people. I don't want to go there to say they will not trust the Unity Party, but the fact the Liberian people watching, a lot of Liberians is watching, they continue support that the Unity Party continue to give to Senator Yonly Kanga Lawrence and Senator Darius Dillon, that continue to undermine the Unity Party, the Liberty Party. The Liberian people watching, and they will make that decision. But what I get to say on that matter is that they should distance themselves from this. They want to do business with Yonly and other officials of the Liberty Party, the expelled officials from the Liberty Party. They can do it in their official capacity as well as individual, but not under the banner of the Liberty Party. That's just it. So what next I want us to look at? What the next thing I want us to look at? Okay, it's the Southeast Road. Quickly, let's look at the Southeast Road. The Southeast Road. Let's look at the Southeast Road. We have limited time to the official opening of County, fellow Liberians. And then if you look at the road leading to the Southeast, it's so deplorable. The road is so bad. And I listened to a few of my friends from the government saying that, oh, the government have done with the financial aspect. The government have loved it already and secured the money to maintain and to lay the corridor leading to the Southeast. What I can say regarding the Southeast Road is that, listen, I don't want you from the Southeast to be carried away are the political talks, the political rhetoric. So political rhetoric. Because the glaring fact is, if this government is coming to you to tell you that, hey, your road project, we have lobbied with partners, and then we do have the fundings that is responsible to pay those engineers to take care of the corridor to lay quota there. Tell anyone coming to you that that statement is a fallacy. Tell them that it's a diabolical lie, and don't honor it, don't respect it. The reason is very simple. This government been in power 5 to 6 years now, going to 6 years. For the past 5 years, the government was in power. So every rainy season that we have experienced on George Weah administration, the maintenance aspect of our role was never a priority. Check it out. If government is serious and concerned about the concern of the Liberian people, of its people, you will sense that through the action from the government. The action from the government will speak to the reality, whether the government is concerned about that situation or the government is not concerned. The very first thing, coordinate as we speak. We don't have maintenance team taking care of the road. Wherein we could have some machines deposited at the, on the corridor leading to the southeast. Places that is very deplorable, try to backfill them, remove cars that hitch. No, there is no maintenance team set up by the Ministry of Public Works. So now what will make you believe that the government is concerned about your road and the government have gathered fundings that will sponsor the pavement of the corridor leading to the southeast? That's all rhetoric. Because we have limited time to election, we have barely 80 more days to election. So the government is doing, they want to entice you. That's the strategy of the government. They want to entice you to say, oh yeah, we are concerned about the southeast corridor because the government is so shame. The administration is shame. They promised that your role was going to be a priority, a major priority, and then they promise you that before the end of the president's first tenure, you're going to see that if majority of the counties in the southeast is not connected, but the major route leading to the southeast will be paved. Have the government achieved on that promise made to you, the Southeasterners? No. So coming to you, they're trying to look for what will convince you, what will tell you that you will be excited of, and to give them some vote. So that's why you the finance minister coming up, other government officials coming up to say, oh, the corridor leading to the southeast, we have done with the procurement aspect, and everything is set up. We have the fund already available. We just want to vet the companies and for the companies to start work. That's not true, fellow Southeasterners. The government been in power for 5 years now, going to 6. When it was serious about their role, long time they have done great things on that road. No maintenance team. In fact, you know how challenging it is now to live on the southeast to come to the nation's capital. You don't need to be told about it. You know the kind of inflation rate that you're experiencing in the southeast only because of the disconnection from the nation's capital. Today, almost everything you do in the southeast, all coming from the all coming from neighboring country, Africans. So the government, they want to win your mind. So they tell you that yes, we have already secured funds to carry on the Southeast corridor. No, that's not true. They are being very disingenuous to you. Certainly, they are being so disingenuous. So I don't want you to be carried away by the statement that, oh yeah, because I see a lot of them playing with you on the internet. Oh, the Southeast Road, the president is going to make it a priority the second year. We already have the funds. So you see the politics they try to play with you. Now, this is the politics. They know that they were not able to achieve anything. They were not able to accomplish the promise made by constructing the Southeast Road. So what can they do now? They come to you, tell you that, oh, we went out, we lobbied, we have the fund, and trust us. Right after the election, 2024, massive work will commence. But see there, you gave them 6 years. Nothing was done on your road. 6 years, mainly they gave to them. Nothing was done. Now, the only thing they want to tell you is that we have secured funds for the construction of the Southeast Road. Granted, what they want from you again? The same vote they gave them, and the same vote they asked for. Don't think they cared about it to know that they cared about the challenges we are going through. No. They are not care. If they are concerned about it, but now the Ministry of Public Works should, by this point in time, dispatch a team to the Southeast to be maintaining the road. But since they are not concerned about it, there's no maintenance team. The maintenance aspect of the road leading to the Southeast is so weak and lazy. There's no team set up for that. So how to hold you? You can't whatever rhetoric. They come again to inform you that they had the money available. But the only thing they need from you is to elect the president. We are for the second time. If you elect the president, you're going to pay the road because they already had the money. Fellow service thinkers, let us think about it. Let us think about it. Even the road between Grand Jide and Fishtown is so bad. Get to think of when was the last time you ever see government sending team from the Ministry of Public Works to go there to aid you to have free access, free movement? When was the last time? When was the last time? And we have the speaker who is from the Southeast. We have the deputy speaker who is from the Southeast. We have the information, the finance minister from the Southeast, the president from the Southeast. We have senior government officials, the central bank governor from the Southeast, Grand Jide, the general minister from the Southeast. But the first 6 years, they was unable to even get quota reaching to Zwaju. That you have the belief that yes, from Zwaju, it will be hitting Fishtown. Fishtown will be going to Sino County. All those senior government officials we have today, we are still challenged in the Southeast with the road. Today, those basic goods and services that we have in our region, we are not proud to knock our chest to say we get it from the nation's capital. We get it from neighboring country, Africans. And that's why sometimes you see, the last time few market women left from Grand Jide, they went to Africa to get goods, and they was involved into accident. 6 of them lost their lives. 6 of them lost their lives. But yet and still, we have 7 senior government officials: Samuel Twe, Aloysius Talu, the General Minister, Siri, Bofo Chimo, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, Fonatikofa, Abachi, all the guys from the Southeast. But today, look at the road leading to the Southeast. See the life of the people in the Southeast. The people are challenged. The people are challenged in the region. But yet still, you want to believe the veterans from them telling you that they have secured funds to pave the Southeast corridor. Who tell you that? Listen, the finance minister, the president, who discussed with the central bank governor and all the senior government officials, said no. Every year on my administration, we should put at least 20 or 25 kilometers or 45 kilometers of road from the Southeast in the national budget. They do have that. They could lobby with other legislatures. But yes, they sat supinely. They took their own share of every money that was invested, that was misappropriated. They took their own portion of it. They received their own portion of it. But they have the guts to come back to us as Easterners to tell us that, look, we have secure funds and we want you to vote for Mr. Wea when he win the election 2024. He will look at the road. Then you want people like us to believe it. You want people like us to celebrate it. It will work with other people, but not me. It won't work with me. No, it can't. It can't. Because you have 5 years. You have 5 years. Every year, under your administration, to just prioritize 25 kilometer road, just approve it in the budget. 25 kilometer road in the Southeast. Check 8 times in 5 years, you know how many kilometers of road you pay in the Southeast. You abuse them. You have the opportunity. You abuse it. We are privileged to have the finance minister, the speaker, the deputy speaker, the senate pro tem, the president, the central bank governor, the general minister, the transport minister, all these people, all of them from the Southeast. But today, when they want to go back in the Southeast, they pass through the way of Africans. But they're coming back to you in the Southeast. Then I said, I listened to some of you. I listened to a few of the young people saying, oh yeah, we will support this president. We make sure George we have one round victory. What is the reason of you supporting the president? Because he has failed to connect the Southeast to the nation's capital? Or because we have senior government officials who have abandoned the people in the Southeast? Currently, as I speak to you, all the places in the Southeast, if you go there, there is no safe drinking water. People still drinking from the creek. It's a glaring fact. You go some places, some cities in the Southeast, there's no network. Today, you go some towns, some places in the Southeast, there's no stable electricity, no public schools. If there's public school, there's no instructor. Then why should we celebrate this regime and say, yes, we the Southeasterners is going to elect this president for the second time? Why? Why is the reason? When we have other counties benefiting from this administration. We have the Southeast there. The Southeast have been swept on the carpet. But they're coming back to you. Then you want to believe it. You say you're in school. You say you're at a university. You're learning. You are knowledgeable of these things. You still sit there and say you're supporting this regime. This is the only opportunity we have. If we abuse it, when this opportunity leaves us, and then another region grab it, trust me, we will regret it big time. We will regret it, and we will regret it. We're going to regret it. The time is now. The time is now, fellow Liberians, Southeasterners. The time is now. You give 6 years. In that 6 years, your road still deplorable. You didn't even witness anything like maintenance team or road construction in the Southeast. The corridor to say we are paving this, the main route leaving from the nation's capital. They're coming back to you. They're telling you that you should give them another 6 years mandate. Be wise. Be wise. It's not about me. It's not about Mr. Cummings. It's not about Councillor Charlene Nosky. It is about you in the Southeast. You in the region. Instead of doing business from the nation's capital, you run into Africans. Today, to even come for vacation or to come to your family call, it's a challenge for you. You have to spend days sleeping in the mall. It's about you. Lofa is benefiting immensely, even though Lofa, from 2017 electoral statistics, they have voted for Ambassador Bwaka 80%. You voted this government 100%. Southeasterners, you voted this government the larger average. Now, your road was never a priority. Was never a priority. In the first 6 years, do you think the old people say this? When the Christmas will be good with you, you will know from the Eve. When the 20th will be fine with me, Yonly, I will get to know from the 20th. On the 20th, if I don't have any money in my pocket, it's a glaring fact that I know that the 20th is going to be. So, if you think that this administration will prioritize a road and pave the corridor, you should know from the first 6 years mandate. First 6 years mandate should speak to that. Lofa County, they get roads there. They took quota from what? They still building roads in Imba. Even though the vote was not the average level that you voted for this president cannot be as compared to all region, but again, your interest has been swept on the carpet. Let us be wise, fellow Liberians and Southeasterners. So we take this break and we're going to be right back. If you just joined, I would like to say welcome. Just a reminder that you are listening to the Face of Hour on the bottom line Liberia with me, Joseph Yonly. And as we have barely 80 days to election, we will be having a fundraiser on the show, on this platform this week. And I will announce the date. We will be having a fundraiser. We want to be all part of the country. We want to be everywhere. We want to keep you informed, and we intend to keep you informed. We also want to give you live updates. So it is important that we be empowered. It is important that we get some support to get some of the job going. We do a lot on a daily basis to do the research to move from one point to another. It's so challenging. So we will need your support. So just in case you want to be helped to what we are doing, this is not, we are not demanding you, but we will appreciate you establishing contact with us and tell us what you're able to do, and we can reach out and we will appreciate you. And trust me, we're going to announce it here on the show. Every other support you give us, we're going to announce it here on the show. We're going to announce it here on the show. We're going to announce it on the show. Your support is highly needed. We need your support. This that we stand up to do is something that is difficult, but again, we choose to do it. You need to support your own, and we will appreciate your support in any kind. So just in case you want to reach out to us, you can visit my official page, Joseph Yonly, or better still, this is the number just in case you want to be or help. I'm dropping a number down. You can reach out. You can reach out. So just in case you want to be or help to our work we do and to empower the team, because we want to be from one point to another. We want to go everywhere. We want to keep informing you, giving you updates, regarding happiness in our country. We will appreciate your support happily, and we will appreciate your support. So the number is there on the screen. You can just go there. You'll see it there for me, Joseph T. Yonly. Whatever things you want to be a help to this job we do, we're going to hardly appreciate, and we're going to appreciate that. But let's take this break, and just me, we're going to. So just in case, yes, the number is there. We pin a number.
There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. So after job creation, our next priority is agriculture. We are a country after 170 years that do not fear ourselves. Last year alone, we imported over 160 million United States dollars in rice import, and total food imports was over $280 million. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves, and my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we are focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. So after job creation, our next priority is agriculture. We are a country after 170 years that do not fear ourselves. Last year alone, we imported over 160 million United States dollars in rice import, and total food imports was over $280 million. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves, and my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we are focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care.